Sports coverage of the NFL leads us to a snow-covered Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, PA. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, Week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Indianapolis Colts and the Pittsburgh Steelers. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
His first carry of the game. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. On 2nd and 11 now. Rivers fighting Hilton on his slant. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Complete to number 13.
T.Y. Hilton, 77 yards. And the Colts are going to take a first-quarter lead.
For the extra point.
Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
That'll be taken about a yard deep. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. First carry now for the former Badger, Jonathan Taylor. And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one.
Jonathan Taylor.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 24 carries, 130 in the yardage department, and a touchdown, 2.
Jonathan Taylor.
And they love what they've got in him. He's the number 4 rusher in the league right now, so you know that you have to account for him on defense, which means you can play complementary football as well. Throw the play action, get it out to the wide receiver, because they should have some open space, because the defense will key on them.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And now the throw going to Fuller, and he's got it. Will Fuller, nobody there to stop him. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Will Fuller, 60 yards. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
Chris Boswell.
And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard.
Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. Partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
Extra bulk up front for second and inches. 3 tight ends. They'll run it out of the gun with Mack. And shedding through the tackle. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down.
45-yard line.
Good pickup there by Marlon Mack, and he was a 1,000-yard runner in 2019 and has been very consistent in moving the ball for the Colts. Last 2 seasons, at least 8 touchdowns rushing each year.
Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll make it second down. Second and 9.
Brings up second and 9 at the 45-yard line.
Working out of the gun, Rivers. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Isaiah Simmons in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Now that sack leaves Rivers and the Colts with a 3rd and long. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just 1 first down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And it's a good news, bad news proposition for them. Mostly good news, and that's that they clinched a playoff spot. That's the important thing. Bad news, though, if they want to make a Super Bowl, for the moment at least, they'd have to do it out of the 6th seed.
And bottom line, everybody wants to play at home during the playoffs. We know that's a given. But nothing builds character for a ball club quite like winning on the road in the playoffs, especially when no one thinks you can do it. And if you win one and gain confidence, who knows, you might get on one of those magical runs.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
1st and 10, Taylor now. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
He's brought down.
He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
On second down, it's Taylor. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 45-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
1st and 10.
Late in the season now, MVP chatter starts, and he might be on the fringe. This is always an award that goes quarterback or running back, usually quarterback. A lot of bias. Does he deserve consideration?
He more than deserves consideration because the way the game is played in the NFL now, it's a pass-first league, right? So that means that people are going to adjust their defenses for him each and every week, and he's still putting up big-time numbers. I know the quarterbacks, the running backs get it, but he should be firmly in the race for MVP.
2nd and 9 from the 44. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. 2 first-quarter touchdown passes now for Ben Roethlisberger. And the Steelers have taken the lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And that makes the score 14-7.
Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he will be taken down here as the first quarter of play will come to an end. Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score.
14, Colts 7.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
On second down now. It's Mack, and he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Ball carrier.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on third down.
2 yards. And it's third down.
From the gun, Rivers. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down.
Simmons.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. So a good punt there, but a very strong 14-yard return. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. He'll find Taylor. That's complete. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. The throw over the middle, taken in. Past the 20. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. 3 first-half touchdown passes now for Ben Roethlisberger. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. That's complete to Marlon Mack. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
1-yard pickup. And it's 3rd down.
On 3rd and 1, here's Rivers. And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped.
That was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
29-yard line.
Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
2nd and 6. At the
to throw again on 2nd down. Roethlisberger looking middle, and it's incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. He finds his target, Fuller. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Big Ben with his 4th touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead down to 3 touchdowns at 21.
Chris Boswell, the kickoff for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
1st and 10.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. Okay, take us to school here, Charles. On a play like that, pretty successful RPO, what's the quarterback looking at?
Basics, he's looking at the defensive end or the outside linebacker. If that player crashes down, to take the running back. Quarterback pulls it, runs to the outside end. Some teams, though, will read different players depending on defenses, but basically it's that outside player.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. He completes this one to Mack. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Throwing again on second down. Rivers. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
Complete to James Washington.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. On 1st and 10, Rivers caught left side by Hilton.
Rivers pass.
7 yards, the pickup there.
T.Y. Hilton. A 7-yard.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
37-yard line.
They'll throw again. Rivers. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On 3rd down, Rivers. And he's stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
It's a gain of 8.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks.
That keeps the score.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They give to Taylor out of the gun. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far, as we send you down to Orlando. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it.
Rigoberto Sanchez.
This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And certainly they are pleased to know that they will be in the postseason. That's the good news. They've clinched a spot at least. The bad news, at least for now, they would have to make a run out of that 6-hole seed. And that's not an easy prospect.
Not at all, especially with how loaded this conference is. Think about the thought of trying to run through 3 road games just to the Super Bowl. It seems unlikely, but we have seen it happen before.
3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
3rd and 3.
And that will be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
At their own 40.
Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. And, Charles, they trail by 3 scores. Look, they're not completely out of this, but it's sort of go time right now.
Yeah, and they knew that coming out after halftime, it was going to take a collective effort to get back into this ball game. The defense got the stop for them, so maybe that can get things started. Now the offense has to pick their game up as well, and if they can put a score on the board, hey, they could get back in it in a hurry.
They go right back to Mack. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
We can't have that.
So he jumped as a safety. You might know a thing or two about that from your playing days.
Well, I remember creeping up near the line of scrimmage on certain blitzes or certain coverages. Never jumped off sides, though.
Not once?
Not once. I wish I had a few times. It would have stopped some of those plays I got toasted up on.
And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's fourth down.
But coming into this one, we expected that this offense would have trouble with this defense, and that's exactly the way that this game has gone. Pressure in his face. Coverage downfield has been tight. That led to another incompletion. This defense, they're exactly...
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
A gain of 2 makes it third down and 10.
Easy. Watch the ship.
From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
Throwing again. Rivers on 2nd and 10. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. Isaiah Simmons. My goodness. Make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really turning in an incredible performance. Third and long for Rivers. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Throwing Rivers. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. James Washington with touchdown number 8. on the year. And the Colts use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. It's up and good, and it's now 28-14. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown.
Indianapolis.
Taken in at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. He'll start with a give to Taylor. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
He's brought down at the 37-yard line. It's a gain of 8.
On 2nd and a couple. Roethlisberger, wide open receiver, complete. Will Fuller, nobody there to stop him. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. How about Ben Roethlisberger, his 5th touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Rodgers on the return. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
On the return. The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Colt offense and T.Y. Hilton making their way back out. Good day for him so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's hit pay dirt once, over 100 yards, but hey, it's the 3rd quarter. He's thinking, I want more, right?
He wants more, and it just increases the confidence of his team because every play he makes, that means his quarterback is really feeling good about throwing the football. Probably feels like he can't throw an incomplete pass when he throws it to him right now.
Yeah, he's looked really, really sharp. Rivers now to throw on 1st down. Taken in by the tight end Doyle. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch.
The tackle made at the 30.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
3rd and short yardage, Rivers. And that is incomplete.
Rivers pass intended for James Washington.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty. And before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Now Callaway on the return. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And let's shift our attention to Will Fuller. A monster game so far, 3rd quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback, or we talk about the quarterback throwing guys open, putting it in the right spot. How about some credit for the receivers,
Absolutely.
Who find ways to get open, whether they uncover late in a route or they get open early, but they just always find a way. And he's having that type of a game.
Yeah, he's been nearly impossible to cover. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
Taylor, the ball carrier.
No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
No gain on the play. It's now 3rd and 4.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And he's got his man in stride, complete. takes it down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. They'll look to run with Taylor. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Jonathan Taylor, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
And that'll increase their lead to 28. So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
At their own 25-yard line.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
It's got to be a long day. It's got to be a long day.
Starting the drive with a give to Mack. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 29, Rivers. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
Rivers.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The Colts on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And he's got his man, Hilton. He's at the 30. 10. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. T.Y. Hilton with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Colts are able to cut into this lead. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, I had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Steelers take over 1st and 10.
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And he'll be taken down, but first he gets deep into Indianapolis territory. A big play there on the catch and run, and even 60 yards.
13-yard line.
So far, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position?
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. From 13 yards out, and the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Extra point put through by Boswell, and that'll increase their lead to 28. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25 yards.
Indy set to go on offense once more. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. They're trying for Washington, but the pass intercepted. Picked off by Obi Melifonwu. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. First and 10.
Number 28, Joe.
He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
Here on the stop.
Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8.
Jonathan Taylor.
Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Taylor. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved. Well, this O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because we were grading them on their performance in this game. A lot of pluses in their boxes so far.
The false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Here's Taylor. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down with a nice little gain. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
Yes, a gain of 10 brings up 2nd and 5.
On 2nd down, it's Taylor. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Ball carrier. Taking
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. That's complete to his running back, Taylor. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be 4th down. They'll run for it. It's Taylor, and he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, his 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Steelers offense, they continue to pour it on. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that one will be accepted.
Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Yard line.
Rivers going to bring the Colts up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll set up to throw from the gun. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
For Jack Doyle, incomplete. Minka Fitzpatrick on the coverage.
Rivers incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Rivers. He dumps this off to Mack. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
At their own.
Now a look at Will Fuller as he and the rest of the offense gears up to get ready to go again. And he is just 1 reception away from 10 in this game. I don't know what they need to do defensively, but something has to be altered, does it not?
I know that whenever we tried to cover a person who's having a game like this, you're trying to vary what you're doing, trying to change things up, hoping to fool him occasionally. If not fool him, fool the quarterback so that maybe he doesn't read the coverage correctly. Right now, though, they're in pretty good sync.
And now the throw going to Fuller, and he's got it. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I don't even know what to say anymore. I mean, I've lost track of how many times he's been in the end zone. This is just flat unbelievable.
Doesn't matter whether you have an abacus, a calculator, just old-fashioned pencil and paper trying to total it up. The number is staggering. What a performance. This man knows how to find the end zone and make it count.
Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he returns this to the 22.
Rodgers on the return. The Colts take over 1st and 10. At their own 22-yard.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield.
Complete.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case,
and nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped.
Isaiah Simmons
in there to get him again. That is sack number 6. 1 off the NFL record of 7.
Now that sack leaves Rivers and the Colts with a 3rd and long.
From the gun, Rivers. And it's brought in by Washington. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Rivers. On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch.
Rivers
A gain of 6 there on 1st.
13.
good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running.
and they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. T.J. Watt, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign.
And 11.
Now that sack leaves Rivers and the Colts with a 3rd and long.
Today's a big offensive explosion help leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Pittsburgh, they'll hit double digits with their 10th win of the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, they're guaranteed now a sub-500 season as they fall to 6-9. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody.